All right, man, you mentioned that you're having some bicep tendinitis. I picked it up from watching your videos that something was going on. You just looked slower. You just looked pedestrian with a lot of your strongman event training. Like you're being really, really cautious about what's going on. So I just wanted to shoot a quick video. I'm here at the gym today, and as you know, I've been pushing myself really hard on my box squats with a regular bar, pushing the super yoke, Atlas stones, log press, a lot of things that put a lot of pressure on that bicep tendon. And I think something that, you know, when I work with people or somebody sends me an email and says, you know, man, Clint, I went in a bench today, or I went in to do rows or whatever, and you know, my bicep tendon, you know, hurt so bad, my forearm hurt so bad that I couldn't bench, or I warmed up on bench and it just kept getting worse. You know, what is it on bench that's killing me? The chances are it's not bench at all. It's what you did a day or three before that. It's probably going to be more than likely squatting with a regular bar, and the cheaper the bar that you squat with, the more than likely it's going to hurt you. With a squat, you're trying to force yourself under a bar. And if you're a big guy, you're trying to jam, even if you're a small person, the idea is to jam your body under a bar so that your body is tight. This is really hard to explain to weightlifters, the guys that do snatch and clean and jerk, because they're so loose. They stand up with the bar and they move their hands around and do all the little dances or whatever. That's just because they're not really squat. I mean, it's not a max squat. If they're doing all of that, they're not maximizing how much they squat. They're actually squatting because they want to improve other lifts. Whereas for us, our goal is the max squat. So when you see them casually walk back and squat, if you added an extra 100 pounds to the bar, they wouldn't casually walk back the squat, just as, you know, what you are doing. So we're jamming yourself under the bar, wedging yourself in every direction. And once you get, let's make sure it's on camera, once you get set up, a cheap bar, it's going to have more width, it's going to have more bend. And the more bend that it's going to have, the more it's going to press down on your hand, going to cause pressure, thumb, palm, wrist, all the way down the bicep tendon, elbow, across the bicep. You're wedged back under, that's a rear delt. You're also smashing it down with a barbell. If you get a Texas squat bar, it's thicker, which means it weighs more, and weighing more is obviously better. It's got less bend in it, so it's kind of sitting across your upper back and not mashing down as much on your rear delts. It's also not gonna have as much bow, less whip, means less pressure on that hand, less tendinitis. It's also wider from inside collar to inside collar, so you can bring your grip out farther. You don't have to wedge yourself into a tight, small barbell. It's also got longer collars on the end. You can fit more plates. And if you're not needing to fit more plates, if you've got spotters in the gym, it's a place for your spotters to actually use their hands to spot the bar instead of the plates. Absolutely, and a thicker bar is also better to bench press as well. Spreads that pressure out in the hand a little bit more. Instead of, you know, pointing down really hard on one spot, you know, it spreads that pressure out a little bit in the hand, in the palm. So first thing, move to a good bar. Move from a thin, cheap bar to a squat bar. We've also talked about, you have an SS yoke bar and you have a camber bar you can train with. The SS yoke bar, obviously you don't have to wedge your body into it. You can casually and comfortably hold the bar out in front, so you're not putting pressure on the rear delts. You're not having to wedge your body in there, and it's not slamming pressure down onto your hands. The same way with the camber bar, you'll be able to grab it out wide. You'll have to use considerably less weight. It does have the swinging factor. We have to make sure you don't have any kind of problems with the camber bar as well, but it gives us more options to play with. I'm beat up, I'm sore, I'm in pain because I'm having to push myself through all the stuff that causes pain because I have goals. You are a strong man, you don't have to do that. There's no reason you have to force yourself to get under a squat bar every single squat session during your training block. We can make a lot of progress with other barbells. So Just a couple of other things, and that's just totally off the top of my head, so it's going to be kind of random all over the place. I got one of these. I use it all the time. I usually keep it at home. My kids steal these and play with them. My dog will steal it and play with it. You know, we're always doing stuff in strongman where we're squeezing, but we rarely ever do stuff where we're opening up. So I just shove my fingers in and just try to spread. Basically what that does, all these little muscles down here that hurt in the forearm, where the tendinitis seems to be, I don't know, it works. It helps relieve that tension right there. It's been jammed down. I've been squeezing, ad rows, squeezing with the bench press. It's just working that opposite direction. I swear it helps. This thing is cheap. It's lightweight. You can travel with it. If nothing else, your kids and your dogs will love it, even if you don't. Obviously, you can cover yourself with hot cream. I do. Any kind of warm cream is going to create some kind of circulation. And I think that's a big plus. I'll do that sometimes at night, as long as the smell isn't going to drive my wife crazy. But I'll do that before a training session here in the gym. Create circulation, takes away a little bit of the pain. And you need to get some sleeves. These are, I don't even know if they still make these, the old Elite FTS knee sleeves. When these things came out, these must be the single ply, I guess. When these things came out, they had a lot of complaints against them because they were knee sleeves, and everyone said they were sized wrong. I guess whatever. When people thought they needed an extra large, they really needed at least a 2X. So people were getting a size smaller than what they thought they needed because they wanted them extra tight. They ended up being 2 sizes small. What I learned is they're absolutely amazing for elbow sleeves. Knee sleeves tend to be longer this way than elbow sleeves do. And that's what I want. I want that tight compression, and I want it to cover and I've got really long arms. I want it to cover as much area as possible. The compression kind of spreads out the pain, I would say. You don't have a pressure point. It decompresses or compresses and causes the decompression in that pain. And if you put the hot cream on, this helps heat it up as well. Cerberus Strength, and I've got a ton of these. Cerberus Strength has all these little compression cuffs. I wear these all the time on big lifts. You can put them over the top of your sleeves. I've got a knot in my right quad. I wear this giant cuff over the top of that a lot just to apply a little bit of pressure. I don't want that knot causing a cramp and causing a muscle tear. I've got a code, or I can get you a code at Cerberus. I don't know if it's 5% off, 10% off, 15, 30%. I don't know. But I either have a code or I'll get you a code for somebody else. But I love all these. They come in a ton of different sizes. I've got 12, 13, 14, 15 inch. This is 18. They've got a bunch of different. They've also got some new elbow sleeves coming out soon, and I'll have some in the next couple of weeks. They swear they're absolutely amazing. I've seen great things about them. So that's just a couple little things that you can have and hold on to. Since I'm already messed up, I'm going to walk you through just a couple of things that I do in my warm-up, give you an idea of some things that you can do. It's really important, not so much, what I want you to understand, it's not so much, man, I'm at the gym and I'm screwed up. What am I going to do today? And that is important, but to be honest, you shouldn't be screwed up when you get to the gym. If you had a day of rest, like, I screwed myself up on Wednesday. Big squats, big good mornings, big bench press, and a lot of other accessory work. And then I worked a solid 14 hours on Thursday. I should have gotten back under an empty squat bar, and I should have done all of the things that I want to show you today. And there's a ton of stuff. Ice, I'm almost always using ice at home. Voodoo floss everything from my wrist all the way down up to my neck. E-stim machines. It's really absolutely endless of the things you can do that's just sitting and doing. And I should do that all the time. And I was lazy and didn't do any of that, and I am messed up today. So I have to do this right now to be able to do anything. Today's not going to be a productive day in the gym anyway, but I have to do a lot of this stuff just to be able to do anything today. I want you to be smarter than me, so I'm going to basically give you an idea of some things that I think you should do the day after you screw yourself up. So whenever you do get to the gym, you won't be too screwed up to productively train. So give me a couple of minutes, let me set some stuff up, and I'll show you what I normally do on a warm-up session. So should you take medicine? I think if you have to, you can take an anti-inflammatory. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of just going to the doctor when you're having bad tendinitis. You know, you're weighing the options. The doctor says lift or don't lift. Well, if the doctor says don't lift, I'm not going to listen to him. I'm going to lift anyway. And then he doesn't want to help me if I'm going to lift. So, you know, if I go to the doctor and he says, you know, take 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off or 4 weeks off, or you need to rest it, you know, or take these tablets or whatever, I can take the tablet. That's not a genius to figure out, you know, if I need to reduce the inflammation or not. But, you know, just having a doctor that doesn't go through and work with me and feel things, and doesn't give me any major feedback on what to do, what's the point? So I would much rather go see a physical therapist, a massage therapist, somebody that is more action oriented, you know, fix me through action. That's what I want. You know, I want someone, I want someone to realize that, hey, because my bicep's hurting and it's hurting down here, it's probably not here where the issue is. Now, if I keep, you know, as a strongman, if I keep pushing it, you know, I have to have my understanding that the bicep's probably going to tear from down here or up here. If I'm a power lifter, that probably means that I'm going to tear a pec, you know, from the bicep tendinitis. But the bicep tendinitis is just kind of where the pain hurts. You know, that can be numbed with lidocaine. I've done that before. I've done that before when I had to, and you can do it, and anybody else can too. It doesn't mean it's going to make it fine. What I would rather have is some kind of action therapist go back and realize that it's something in my back, my lats, my rear delt, to find 3 or 4 small muscles, trigger points, maybe, if that's what you want to call it, and show me some things that I can actively do to get myself better, rather than just give it some time and rest for a few weeks and take some Tylenol and some ibuprofen. I could have told you that. Anybody could have told you that. I want somebody that's going to tell me how to actively get better. So, you know, I watch a lot of, and I suggest you watch everything you can of Donnie Thompson, the mobility WOD guy. Matt Vincent, man, he doesn't produce a lot of stuff anymore, but his stuff used to be absolute gold. Find him on YouTube, all 3 of those guys, and just watch everything they come up with. Try everything that they come up with, and then figure out what works and what doesn't work for you. Now, I'm sure this is going to go wrong now that I'm trying this. I haven't done this in a while. But the idea is I'm going to wear this almost like a pair of suspenders. And I really want it to dig into those muscles and pull me back like that. You really can't go wrong with the movement. It is a little painful, but a little bit of pain this way is a lot better than the pain you're already in, or the pain you're going to be in if you tear something. And remember, this is supposed to be preventative stuff. So we're going to use a little bit of preventative pain just so you can train harder. Isn't it amazing how you're going to do some preventable pain so you can kill yourself harder in training the next day? I can feel it just a little bit digging into something tight right around here, and it's slowly on the left side as well. You know what? That bicep tendinitis feels a little bit better. Now, I could raise this up a little higher to create a little more tension, and that would be fine. to be quite honest. I'm using the heavy bands. Just, you know, I would like something a little bit thinner, that way it would dig in a little more. But the thinner the band you use, the more likely you are to smack the ground. And I need the extra tension as well pulling against me. But I just row back and forward, rotate the neck. My arms are going to sleep. Rotate the arms one direction, rotate them the other. Spend as much time here as you can. It's perfectly fine to do all of this, every motion, and then get up, do something else, and then come back. Abs are nice and sore from training them on Wednesday. But don't be afraid to move. There's nothing wrong with any kind of movement. Keep moving till you find a spot that hurts, and then back off and dig it in a little bit more. Find a spot that feels good, and keep digging in there and see if it helps. But you want it to pull everything back a little bit. This is one of the reasons why I get under an empty squat bar every night before going to bed. It forces me to open my chest, pull my hands back, stretches the lats and the neck for just a couple of minutes. And then if you're already screwed up, go through this 2 or 3 times. If you've got a big bench press PR coming up sometime soon, or if you know you got a big heavy squat cycle coming up, do this every day. Every single day for a few minutes. A few minutes a day, just so you don't have to deal with pain or an injury or a bicep tear or a pec tear. That's huge. Right, Cat agrees with me. Yeah, you do agree, don't you? Man, that feels a ton better. My headache's gone too. Alright, this is a favorite one of mine for a couple of reasons. I take a heavy band, and this is the one that's going to apply pressure to my body, very similar to what I just did. And I really like the heavy band to do that. I've got an average band, and of course, I've got a window with bars, and I'm going to take this, loop it through the bars. You could use another piece of equipment in the gym, anything in your house. It needs to be pretty sturdy. I will grab this with this hand, lean back, and I want to get this like a parachute, and I want it to dig in right there so we can pull that shoulder back. Now I'm going to pull, get this hand under, and wrap it around. I do not want to squeeze this band. I want my entire arm to be relaxed. If I'm tightening up like this, that band's not going to dig in, and I don't have free range of movement. I want everything to be relaxed. That way you can pull. I really don't like the term stretch. I don't think stretching is all that beneficial if you're hurt. I want everything. I want it to be stretched without me having to stretch it. If that makes sense. I don't want to force a stretch. I want my body. I do not want my body. Hold on, let me see if I can get it out. I don't want my body to stretch. I want it to relax. So all I'm doing here, this band is pulling my arm forward. This band is pulling it back, and it's digging in to that pec tendon. I can rotate a little bit. It'll pull a little bit more on that shoulder. Don't forget that bicep that hurts down here, that's not hurting near as much anymore, connects up under that shoulder where the pec does. Roughly. I did take anatomy a couple of times. All I know is it feels better and it helps. Rotate this way. Let it pull. Step in a little more to let it apply pressure more. That band has to hold your arm up. Okay, you cannot do this with the arm down. It's a totally different effect. You need to have this hand so it can be relaxed, and I've got my fingers sitting on top of it. I do this stretch right here without this band at home all the time. Hook that band to a doorknob, or hook it to the stairs, and just relax and let it pull that rear delt as much as possible. Twist the arm in all directions. Let it rotate around. Rotate the shoulder forward as much as you can. That's really digging into that pec. Rotate it back. And that's pulling that clavicle, the collarbone, everything back into position. I'll do this a lot in between warm-ups on bench press. If I'm doing a lot of bench pressing that day and I know I'm going to have something heavy at the end and my pec hasn't been feeling great, I do this in between all warm-ups. So massage for that pec, opens up that shoulder, releases the bicep, and I think it helps prevent pec tears. You can't really go wrong here. Oh, man, that feels nice. The difference between arms is huge. Wow. All that stretching without stretching. Now this left arm's killing me. Spend a couple of minutes, dig, let it pull. You might be having something going on in your traps. It's digging down into my traps. Lean back, lean forward, dig all the way in this way, lean way out, let it pull. A lot of times I'll have headaches. I come in the gym, get set up on the SS yoke bar, add some heavy bands and just stand up. The SS yoke bar pulling down on my traps straightens everything. It's a great massage for the neck. It's smashing the neck, which reminds me to smash the forearms and the bicep here in just a second. Lean in to one side so it digs into your neck. Lean to the other side a little bit so it kind of pulls everything away. Swim forward, swim back. Not a big fan of the stretch. A lot of people say to do it. Not a big fan of the stretch unless I have something pulling right here in that position. Otherwise, you're just stretching that bicep. I'm not into stretching, I'm into relaxing. That's what I want to do. If you're stretching, you're going to stretch the weakest link. If someone is actively stretching, you are probably, I'm saying probably, you are probably stretching the most painful section, and you're probably increasing your chance of a muscle tear. So the difference between stretching an injured, damaged section of muscle and relaxing an injured, damaged section of muscle is huge. That's important. Maybe the most important thing I've said like in 10 years. Oh, that's important. Let it pull that rear delt. Remember, you cannot do a wrong movement. Movement is good. So just keep trying and keep moving. Do this all the time, every day, once or twice, in between sets. You've got time. Put your phone down, stop texting, and do this. It's not going to burn any calories. It's not going to affect your squat or your deadlift. It might even make your arms longer for your deadlift. You might even pull more. Let that second scoop or third kick in. Woo! All right, now I have not practiced this. I have no idea if it's going to work well. Like I said, I haven't been doing this. Now I'm all screwed up, and I have to do this just to have a training session today. But if I don't start doing this on a regular basis, I'm not going to have a big squat session or a series of big squat sessions leading up to PRs. So you can use a regular bench here. I've seen people use anything, even the edge of a preacher curl bench, which has got to be really painful. This is cold rolled steel. I was thinking it's 50 pounds. It's heavy and painful. I've done this on my box that I box squat on before with a rubber mat, which may be what I have to do here. But the idea is I'm going to lay my hand down, and I'm sore. My hands are sore. I've got arthritis anyway. But activity helps arthritis. So I just start, and I want to relax everything in this hand as much as possible. And I don't want to have to use this hand to mash. My wife asks for a massage, and just giving her a massage will make my tendinitis even worse. It's the same thing as you've got tendinitis, so then you decide, hey, I'm going to put my elbow sleeves on. And trying to get your elbow sleeves on once you've already got tendinitis, it's ridiculous. It's impossible, because you've already got tendinitis and you have to ask someone to put your elbow sleeves on. It just makes it worse. So I don't want to smash with this hand. I want something heavy that I can roll. And all I'm doing is giving myself some kind of smashing massage. This is painful. This is actually painful. But I want to roll it up and down that forearm. That's a good connection right there. Remember, this area probably hurts because everything is tight up around the shoulder and rear delt. And because everything is tight up around the shoulder and rear delt, this connection point is not near as flexible as it should be. And there's not a whole lot of stretching I can do for this. So I can smash it and move it around. This is, an easy massage. And I can find the spot that it hurts. When you go get a massage, you always have that, they're working and you're like, oh yeah, right there, right there, right there. And they never get back to that right spot again. Actually, a good massage therapist will find the spots that you don't know are there. But if you can massage yourself, you can find that one teeny tiny spot that makes everything better and really focus on it. And that's where this comes in handy. And I don't have to put any kind of pressure with this hand. I'm just guiding it and letting it roll. So if I think I need more on the outside, I can do more on the outside, inside by the wrist, absolutely whatever. And you can lay this down on the ground. It's even better. Roll over that bicep. Now you can use a barbell. It's just not overly convenient, to be completely honest. The knurling of the barbell makes it even more exciting. This hurts quite a bit. But if I can take that point down here at the end where it's going to eventually tear, and I can loosen it up, and once again, get it relaxed, it's less likely to tear. That's a good thing. I don't want it to tear. Ooh, that's nice. All right, well, that was just a couple of about a billion things that I'll do on a regular basis to help with my bicep tendinitis. You want to be sure to attack this head on before it becomes a major issue. Oh, magnesium for muscles. Let me get you some kind of coat or something for them. I use that spray all the time. I don't believe in essential oils. I don't believe in essential oils. So I'm not going to say it's an essential oils type product. I'm going to say it's a magnesium circulation snake oil spray. I like the stuff. I hate to admit it, but I do like the stuff. I'll see if I can get you a code or something, put you in touch with the lady that owns that company, and see if we can get you some. But I cover myself with all the spots that tend to hurt or tend to cramp, usually before bed and before training. And I wouldn't do it. I buy it. I buy the stuff. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it didn't work. So if I didn't think it worked. Yeah, there we go. But I want to take a small step back so we can make some big steps in the future. One of the biggest things, actually probably the biggest thing that I hear from people, and I pick up clients that come to me from other coaches a lot, and it's not me. Obviously, I didn't poach you from anybody. It's not me taking coaches or taking athletes from other coaches. But when I get an athlete who's come to me from another coach, it's extremely common after 6 weeks or 6 months for them to say, you know what, I'm making more progress now than I was before. And the biggest difference is I hurt a lot less. So I think a lot of it has to do with the structure of how I structure your training. And I want to push you in training, but we have to face this head on right now so it's not a huge issue in the future. We can back up just a hair now, or we can get another 4 weeks down the road and we're at a point where We just say, look, I've got to stop and take a break. That's it. Or you're looking at a major injury. I don't want that to happen, and I guarantee you, you don't want that to happen either. So let's attack this. Let's get moving with it. Let's try everything we can, and you stay on top of me. Keep giving me video feedback. Let me know what's going on. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what works and what doesn't work, and we will find a way to make your bicep pain, all of your tendinitis, much better. Big things to come. Have a good one.